Whoa,
We're gonna do a
what's this?
stream-a-thon, and it's so I can get down there to you, and we can do a road trip together to this spot. And
It's very close.
Right, so this picture right here, I think, is one of the absolute best for showing what I believe the evidence points to that the Grand Canyon was, and that you see these limestone red wall and white walls here, that this was actually dammed up, and that you had these giant inland freshwater sea, like essentially oases in the desert, and that this shows where it actually cracked through, broke, washed out, and eroded, and that there used to be these massive dams built, constructed throughout the area of the Grand Canyon Pyramid Temple Complex area. And
What's that straight line right there? What is that? What
So
is that
this-
long?
This is the South Rim aspect painted map of the Grand Canyon Pyramid Complex area. Sadly, this is not a high definition one, but it shows such areas as the Ottoman Amphitheater. It shows the Isis Temple, the Cheops Pyramid, the Temple of Thor or Hathor, and literally 60 other different temples and pyramids that are in this area. This one being the main Isis temple, and that this is what's so clearly visible from that South Rim site here. Oops, back to here, right? So right here, this is like the main area that people look out, and that they see this Isis temple. And for those that are unaware, right here used to be a giant entrance, a giant gaping cave into Isis temple. And in it was either the late 50s or early 60s, there was a plane crash in the Grand Canyon where they went in, closed it down for quote unquote search and rescue for months, and afterwards a magic wall appeared covering up the cavern. And here,
There it is.
That's it, still covered up.
That looks like it was whoa.
Hold on, sorry. Still covered there. Flipping through pictures quickly, trying to find it. It will come.
See, I have to put this back on the big screen.
Oops, nope, wrong one. Sorry, my apologies. I will find the picture with.
I'm gonna max you out. Don't worry, you're all maxed out right now. You're bigger than you ever was.
Well, first, before I find that, we will go into this, the topographical map of the area, and that this shows that literally there's the alignment not just to the 3 belt stars of the Orion constellation, but literally every single major peak.
Open up Google Earth now. Hold on. And by the way, you had me. Oh, here we are. Google Earth. And so where is that Colorado River? Is that north-south or what's going on there?
I believe so. Yeah, because it's North Rim, South Rim. Yeah.
The Colorado River is, I don't know where it goes east-west like that. What's over on the right-hand side? The bottom of Orion. Oh, no, I'm seeing something else. That's your screen. That's your flames, your blue flames. Oh. Hey, by the way, tell my audience a little bit about your opener. You have like that great video. I love watching it. How did you make that?
I did not. It was actually our mutual friend Zertis that created that one.
Okay. Now, is that something that it was like automated with a AI or something?
Yeah, it was absolutely AI automation and video creation.
Is there any direction on your part? Okay, I'm going to give up on finding it on my side. You keep going over there. I'm just wondering, where's north right there? I don't really think that's going north straight up.
Yeah, it might not be. Sorry, I'm just trying to go through my photos quickly to find the ones
I see, I see a few things.
Here we go. The pre-50s photo Sorry, finally able to share what I was trying to reference earlier with before they built the wall. And here we go. Now you can see here any of the old photos. There's this giant gaping entrance that was right in the middle of it. And also here showing the perfect semicircle to 90-degree and then 90-degree walls that are sticking out of this structure, and that, well, water doesn't erode these perfect 90 degrees like that.
You have the coordinates for that right now?
I'm
north.
trying to
Whoa,
find it.
go back. I want to go back before that one. Can you? Yeah, I love that painting. Maybe no, the painting, the next one. Yeah, as you can see behind me, I'm an artist, and I really admire those colors right there. Yeah, this painting, I'm trying to get somebody to take it off my hands.
For sale.
Yeah, for sale. Well, how much is a painting? This is 5 foot tall by 10 foot wide. You can literally put it on your kitchen wall. It'll cover up the whole thing. Yeah, it's a mural, basically. It rolls up, and I'll send it to you for $1,000. How's that for a deal? And I am doing there's another painting under here. I can't show you, but this is coming down on the 20th. I'm leaving it up until the 20th, and then it's coming down. There's one right behind it. But thank you for that little segue. We'll get back. That painting right there I love the colors. Please send me that. I love that.
I shall.
We should do a screen. Well, we got it in the video now, so I can always screen grab it at this point. Yeah, here's what I'll do. I'll copy that, and I'll make $100.
Right? Yeah.
That's a photo or a painting?
This one's the painting, and then
that other one that you just
photo. This is a photo with painting, right?
That's beautiful.
Right? That would be a beautiful.
What do we call this peak? And
that's Isis Temple. That's another angle at Isis Temple, I think.
Now, if I just do a little search on Google and say Isis Temple, Grand Canyon, Isis Temple,
sir.
Grand Canyon.
You got it.
That didn't work. The map. Okay, what do we got here? That's Isis Temple. There it is.
You can see a little bit of the shadow of the wall that they've covered in, but there's a few photos that I will get to that actually shows the pre-50s photos of it, where it's just this giant open cavern, and just every aspect of the whole area, like these walls, these are massive walls. And I don't see how it's possible they claim that water eroded them when they're always in these different 90-degree sections and what almost look like Starfortish bastions and whatnot. And here you have another one, completely square temple. This one might be the temple. No, it's not Temple Ra. This one might be of Thor, I think. Could be wrong. And then down below, what look like some smaller pyramids, another pyramid here potentially, and sadly it's too pixelated in this image, but it looks like another pyramid on the very top with some of the upper casings still on top of it. And either way, you have these sticking out, I don't know, buttresses or something, but walls that are impossible to have eroded that way. It's just, what makes more sense is that it was to curve the flow of the water of the lake to not rush as much and actually fill up and be this giant inland sea style of metropolitan.
Well, they could have easily had that full of water. They easily could have had that full of water through the Grand Canyon area, a couple of dams. You choose your location for the dam, and it could have been full of water. And those could have all been like high rise. It could have been a city. But I'm thinking a million years ago. I'm thinking a million years ago.
Right? I don't doubt that.
It's not like 25,000. It's pre-Atlantis. I totally agree.
This was the master builders, right? That came in with advanced technology.
Look at those layers right there. Is that the same place?
Right.
Is that the same place?
This is going into the caves or the canyons of it. Yes, this is part of the rim, I believe. And like, look at
Wow.
how layered it is. It's stepped pyramid. It looks like
It looks like
megalithic.
Peru. It looks like Peru in a
Yep,
way right there. And by
big
the
time.
way, I was just with Trekker Wills, I am Kairos channel.
Absolutely.
I mean, by the way, this is old, okay? The stuff that I saw with him, maybe 1,000 years old, maybe 500. You really don't know. It's a little bit more inferior. Yeah, the monkey face.
Right? Or like, is that a queen with elongated headish, kind of like Egyptian style? Something definitely.
Looks like a sculpture.
Yeah, exactly. And that they're all over.
I mean, look, if it's 1,000,000 years old, maybe it would be a little more weathered. Maybe that's something more recent. And that's the corner of that plateau now I see. There's a lot of illusions, too. I get sucked into a few. But what I see in the Grand Canyon, in my experience, if you've looked at my stuff, you've got quarrying.
It is from another angle.
That is?
Yeah, that's the same one from a different angle.
Well, it's definitely the monkey head. Is that what it's called?
Yeah. I don't know, but I see faces. Pareidolia galore, or is it the runes of ancient masked carvings throughout?
What you're looking at right there looks like it was a mined butte. You don't see buttes with like, I'm sorry. I mean, I'm outside of the mainstream narrative here, but the way that those cliffs look, I think it was a form of mining and quarrying. And I think because the Colorado River is right there, they were using the river as a placer mining resource. Lots of water. They probably had the shoreline of the river way up. They probably had ancient dams.
Absolutely.
Well, yeah, they dammed it off, and that was a body of water. So, it was totally reachable. They take a little boat to get across to these plateaus. And I'm telling you, the places that I've seen, you can't. Oh, that's a beautiful one. That right there I know that's a photo. Is that a painting?
That's really another painting.
Oh, okay. I thought that was a photograph for a second. I love that.
Right.
That inspires me. I know that's a lot better than this stuff on my wall. I think I've done better work than what's on the wall, but yeah. So we're talking about Isis Temple. I'm going to try to get into the map now because I have it right here.
Absolutely. Let's take a look. So this is one of the photos pre-50s with the big canyon in it, and I'm still trying to find my best photo of it. So this is one of them, and then there's another one somewhere here. But like, just look, like everything, it's so like these would be giant docks, giant bays if the water level was up to there, and then you have the insides of what were.
But I think it got weathered down, so whatever was on top of those plateaus is gone, and it got washed away, scrubbed away.
Here we go. Here's the old photo, and here you.
Oh, there you go. Look at how symmetrical that is. Right? Yeah, I got to get into the map. I'm still trying to find the map, but I'm getting a little bit of. There we go. Wikipedia. Let's go to Wiki, and the map is right there.
Almost looks like a head face carving from this angle on top as well, which most of them have, and it's like white limestone caps on top of these pyramids and temples, and that they're all officially called temples and pyramids with ancient gods' names and stuff on it. And then you have the most recent inhabitants in it. But what's behind these? Like, there's actual caves that go throughout, and that all the indigenous tell their creation stories of these underground cities directly in this location.
Okay, look at that. I'm looking at it right now. Now, to me, that's very symmetrical. There's a little bit of a thing, but there's all these curves, these little amphitheaters carved in there. To me, okay, when you back out a little bit, it looks even more natural.
That's the monkey head for sure.
But going in there, it's like, why would you have all those arches carved in? That's not the way weathering works, in my opinion. They show these rivers. That doesn't make sense. I think that they were pumping water in there. Like the Colorado River right there. Yeah, it is going east-west like you were showing me.
And like, look at this. This is a complete rectangle, what looks like the top of a pyramid or base of a pyramid right there. And they try to claim that water somehow eroded a perfect rectangle by more perfect rectangles. Like, it doesn't make actual geologic sense. And if you envision this with halfway filled with water, it makes a lot more sense. And like you said, it's millions of years of erosion, and there definitely was some sort of massive catastrophe, whether it was nuclear war, solar outburst, like the pole reversals, who knows, but something massive also damaged, destroyed, and wiped out these original civilizations. Like, that looks like a castle.
Well, you know what I just visited in California was the Sutter's Butte. I know you saw it, right? Sutter's Butte.
Yes, sir.
And it had, that just doesn't make sense at all. I think that was a dump. It's right in the middle of the Central California. You've got this mound, but it's so weathered. It's got to be over 1 million years old, in my opinion. That when you drive through there, you're like, oh, this looks totally natural. Then there's that secondary thing about all those walls. Well, that's more, I think, maybe 1,000 years ago, but still, they try to say the Chinese were doing that. It's a total. Now here, the Grand Canyon, I've got a mound that's totally carved out of one of the top of the plateaus. It's so obvious. And then you look at the surrounding area. I believe they were doing quarrying. They were polygonally carving this plateau. So why
do you want to pull up? Do you have
same
Google Earth? Do you want to show some of that right now?
Let's see. Let me think about the best way to show that. I always hate when I pop it open, then it takes me a long time. You know, really the best thing is Google. Why don't you do it? Go to my Facebook page.
My computer will crash if I open other links.
No? Okay, well, let me open it up and find it first before we share. Yeah. Because I don't want to sit there and be searching. And I do know I have it ready. And I could probably find it pretty quick. That's why I did the Facebook.com. Anybody can go there. Facebook.com/WasThisAtlantis. But it's not just focused on the Rashad structure. It's focused on anything I find that I want to keep. And trust me, there's quite a bit. By the way, the thumbnail is this mound. Sutter's Butte. Oh, it's very close to Sacramento. Come on. See, isn't that weird? Okay, I don't want to insult that person, but it's right north of you in the Central California. Okay, now I'm ready to share my screen because I have that ready in topographic. It's so beautiful. Where's that?
This is supposedly in the Grand Canyon, and if true, like, wow, right? And
I got a couple pictures like that too. Okay, here I'm opening up. So my thumbnail was the heart-shaped mound. Now I don't believe for a second that was a real thing back then. That's Utah when I back out. So I'm in big trouble now.
You gotta see your screen. You gotta hit
the heart-shaped mound. What's that?
We can't see your screen yet.
No, I know. I'm just narrating. Okay. I'm just letting you know in advance. And by the way, I depend on the chats to let me know. Let me just find the pictures I want before I share.
Another thing I always love to point out is Teotihuacan here, the city of the gods just outside Mexico City. These were giant mounds covered in trees before excavated. Right. And when they excavated them, they found that they were covered in mica and then sold off the mica that's like they were covered in. So it's like, what's to say that similar mountain things aren't beneath all of this, right? Like,
no, that's a big thing. I mean, obviously it's intelligently created, but yeah, those mounds were recreated. And it does make me question a few things, but I'm definitely not the person to say, now I'm lost. Hold on. Get out of there. Okay, I'm still looking for the thing I'm going to share with you. It's basically the Grand Canyon and all these. Yeah, there they are. I mean, let me make sure. This is pretty much it. I got these shapes. I mean, this is not wind. This is not water. What I'm about to show you is just, sorry.
Right,
And
like,
I
look
gotta
at
get that. It's just amazing.
this one right here, even like that is not eroded by wind and water. That looks like an
No, it looks
actual double
geometrical.
castle.
Well, when I went straight down on it, those things, I mean, okay, I think it's symmetrical. It looks a little bit off of symmetry, but these ancient miners, I'm telling you, I think it's mining. I think it's quarrying. And I know that the little peak they leave on purpose, just like what I'm going to show you, Sutter's Mound. Sutter's Butte. And they renamed it to Sutter Buttes with Bernie's house. Okay.
No, that I make everybody a moderator so that they can share links in the live chat.
Right. No, that's another important thing. Where is your live chat? You know what? I think I need to go to your channel because I'm still in the StreamYard with you. But that's okay.
The StreamYard one, it should have all of them in the live chat. You just have to click back over from the private chat.
Yeah. Where are we? Okay, I guess I better do that one more time. Okay, well, you've got that right there. I'm going to put it on Google Earth. I want to see it because I've got it open up on Google Maps or something. Let's try to find it.
Right.
Like I got lost. So I navigated away a little bit.
Throughout South America.
Let's just reboot it and see if I get it. No, this whole area this whole Grand Canyon area was being used.
That looks like a copper mine.
Angel's Widow.
North Rim, but like that looks like copper oxide throughout and going into a cave. Like,
don't you think that's a little bit weird? It's called the North Rim. What are they talking about? The North Rim?
Yeah, that's on the wall of the North Rim of the canyon. So there's, it's in between, right? So like this photo is from the South Rim, and then right over here, is the North Rim.
Yeah, it totally looks different too. The North Rim totally looks like a separate planet.
Right?
I mean, I know we have layers of strata, and people always say, oh, you're just talking about layers of strata. Yeah, but that's not the way layers of strata work.
No, exactly. And I majored in geology, and it's like none of this makes sense.
Do you think mainstream geology is hiding stuff, or do you think it's like programmed?
It's indoctrinated. It's indoctrinated just like Egyptology and the rest of it, just like mainstream science is these days. It's ridiculous.
Okay, how did Google Earth Pro opened up? Isis Temple. Yeah, look, it is very symmetrical, honestly. It looks like a big old bat.
It really is. It's a 5, right? It's a pentagon.
One big, huge arch for the head, and then you got one, and then the opposite, one, and then the opposite. Maybe it got weathered away. Down below, look, let me say, if I hadn't seen what I've seen in South Africa and now all of Africa, I mean, the Kalahari canals themselves is a lot bigger than anything else. 250,000 square miles of canals that are all parallel. It just, that this ancient megalithic culture, it's megalithic. I'm trying to find the best words to use. I don't think you can say paleo.
Megalithic.
It's old.
Megalithic.
Yeah. The lithic means stone and mega means big, right? So megalithic.
Macrolithic.
Yeah, there you go. Get it even bigger than mega.
Macrolithic.
And it's all these words, I've been looking at where does the word Holocene come from? Where does Paleocene? I know paleo means old. And then you've got upper paleo. Why do they call it upper? Because it's higher and then there's lower, there's medium paleo. It's just ridiculous. You probably can explain it if you were doing that geology stuff.
Yeah, it's been 20 years, so it's
to be honest, what I see here is a big quarry to me. I see a big quarry right here. That's what they do in quarries. That's a mouth. That's a nose. It's probably the snout. Like you see that in Berenstain Bears or cartoons. And maybe that was the way these people actually, I mean, these giants, I think they were giants.
Yeah.
I think giants created the arches in Utah. You don't just have suddenly 1,000 arches in one spot. Okay.
Exactly.
And it's not wind. It's not water. And when they collapse, they say, oh, see, it's natural. Well, you can have something that's unnatural collapse later on after it's been weathered.
It almost looks like a couple of Egyptian people, like faces, legs, arms, stuff, but not good enough resolution. But I've seen a lot of the different areas. Always looks like carvings on all of the different walls, just extremely eroded. Or I am the most pareidolia individual in the world, but I think it's more.
Look, when I drove through there, and it wasn't right there. I'm sorry, I didn't go to the Grand Canyon. It was the Colorado River. And when you're driving on the 70, and you go from Utah into Colorado, then you get to the Book Cliffs, Berenstein. Oh, I pronounced it wrong. Actually, that's like a whole Mandela effect thing.
Berenstein, right? Yeah.
Yeah, let's not talk about that.
Not going down that hole today.
So Utah has the Book Cliffs. They go into Utah. By the way, drive through there and not fall asleep while you're driving. That's all hypnotic when you drive right through there on the 70. When you get to Colorado, you wake up and you can turn left at Garfield Mountain. And right there, it looks kind of like this, like mining activity. Like, to me, that's what I see here. They had
to be mined out for sure.
They had the Colorado River there. I believe.
Okay, sorry, I just have to quickly point out. So this photo is taken of the South Rim. There's Isis Temple. There's where they covered up the cave. But what's hilarious is look at the jagged rockwork that they used, like modern day. Yet everything else is exponentially more symmetrical and block-like and built. And it's like nature does. See, this is how nature fractures. It doesn't do it in all of this block symmetrical stuff.
Where's that? Is that the cave? No, that's not the cave.
Here's another cave. This is just an additional cave. There's literally hundreds of these filling up this Grand Canyon basin. This is directly off the Colorado River there. And
look, the river went right through there. They could have had the water rise. They can control the water. And so the water was at the same level as the entrance. They're not going to ever check that data, are they? And say, oh, yeah, there was a shoreline here. I mean, it honestly doesn't look like a shoreline, but it's the Colorado River. They could have had it any level they wanted, anytime they wanted.
And it was 1 million years ago, or several cataclysms from when this was truly at its glory. And look, that there's
Randall Carlson said the Richat structure has chert outcrops being quarried by somebody hundreds and thousands of years ago. Then later he goes on to clarify 1.2 million years ago, people were working. Now, there's different projects. There's time periods. You had stuff that's not so old. Like, for example, what that guy Graham Langdon found in the Richat structure area just north by the shorelines, by the quarries that I've shown many times, 6 miles long by 3 miles wide. These straight parallel lines were quarried out of the earth. And then they found all these hand-carved axe heads. Maybe later I can show you the image. It's probably in my Twitter. And it's these images. It's these axe heads. They're not like, they don't have a handle. They're a hand axe head. So a handheld tool. Now we're talking about more hunter-gatherer people, not like advanced like Atlantis. However, a lot of projects went on in all these areas, and including the Colorado River. You want me to show you that thing?
Yeah, absolutely. Please.
All right,
do.
Let me figure out how to share my screen, and let me move before I do that. Where is our? Like, I totally don't even see our chat right now. Where are we?
Oh, it's because I think you have.
Oh, there we are. Okay. Oh no, you're over there. I have another screen. I don't even realize that's it. Okay, I got to go over here and present from over here, and then video. No slides. No share screen. It's different when you're not the host. All right, here we go. All right. There you go.
Yep. Boom.
And let me get rid of that thing. This is irrelevant for now. Let me okay, so yeah, this is where you were just checking. I didn't the exact spot. I think it's like right around there. Backing out, you can easily find where I want to go. That's like, see, because when you talk about the rim of the Grand Canyon, I don't really see a rim, right? But right over here, you go zoom right in here. Wait, am I wrong? See, it's all changed.
The rim's the very outside of
the edge, yeah. Because I always think of the shoreline when I think about rivers. But look at the whole thing in general. I mean, look at all that activity. Look at over here. Look at these straight lines that you see coming through there. This was like several projects. Over here, you see a straight. Here, let me max this out. I'm showing you. That's about it. That's the best we can do, right? I mean, you don't see rivers that are that straight.
Right, so look at that. That's crazy. That's a straight.
Then you see this over here. This is a 90-degree angle. And then, by the way, that's another angle over here. There's something going on. And, you know, we're just looking at it for the first time. But when you see activity like this, that's not okay. Randall Carlson calls it overnight flooding, as opposed to what's that word? I forgot the word that describes a slow process.
Slow erosion.
No, uniformitarianism. Uniformitarianism. Okay, so where I want to take you here, and by the way, I have pictures lined up. Let's go to the pictures first. First of all, what's this? Private. You can't see this. That's the freaking Grand Canyon right there.
Look at that. Just like by the Eye of the Sahara.
There's another shot. Well, okay, I think this is even better than the Eye of the Sahara, to be honest. Now here, I think that's a totally different way to create they're not taking out blocks for a pyramid. They're taking out dirt and ore, and they're scraping it, and they're bringing it to the river, and they're probably were doing water activities to rush it down this river. Whoops, this is an image. Tikaboo Height Outpost. To me, when I see that, and by the way,
you're still on the Google Earth.
Why do you say that? What's going on? Am I on Google Earth? No, I'm on Facebook. This is Facebook right here.
My bad. Sorry.
Yeah. Yeah, this is just a picture. To me, that looks like they did some intentional scraping. Now, the weird part, when you see the top of the plateau, you see my cursor, right? My mouse. Do you see that?
Yes, sir. Sorry, I was muted. Yeah, we see it.
There it is, and that's the top of the plateau. So then you've got water activity creating a fissure, and then you've got these straight lines inside not the top of the plateau. No. That's not the good stuff. The good stuff is down below, and that's what they wanted. So they're not going. I see this everywhere. I can show you that at the Rashad structure. I can show you that in Utah. That's the way they did it back then. Okay, let me go forward. So that's one way they did it. This is another way. I call them polygonal lines, because when you look at these lines, and here you see two sets, but sometimes you can see three. Now that not here, that's just two, but come on. That's pretty damn obvious. That's not wind. That's not water.
90-degree angles, right? Like that's impossible erosion.
Those are actually, I believe, 30 and 60. That's 30, 60 degrees.
And officially, they claim is that that's from like ice ball Earth, and it was like glaciers or something that originally did that, right? Am I not mistaken? Like that's the official narrative?
Well, there's no official narrative for this stuff because we never saw this in high school. Next photo. I mean, now here you can see triangles. So yeah, here you've got three directions. Technically, it's not quite. This is a relief cut. because what you don't see is triangles. You see a relief cut, like over here where my mouse is. That right there, to me, it's definitely 3 sets of lines, but they're so slight, so you don't really get the real triangles here. Let's go to the next one if I can. This one definitely has triangles, and when you see the triangles, you're like, okay, how? That's actually a 33 by 30. Like that's like a isosceles triangle. What's the name of it when it's perfect? When it's perfectly 180 degrees divided by 3.
Oh,
60
right.
each. It must be 60
that.
each. Those look like they're 60 each right there. You're seeing 3 sets of lines there. Let's just take a quick look. Maybe I'm wrong, but for me, I'm seeing some up downs, and then I'm seeing this direction right here. Now, do we see another? Yes, I see it now, right there. So you've got triangles, and in my opinion, it's just too convenient. And when you see the stuff in South Africa, these are like these little rectangles here, and just to me, you can't tell me that's natural. You can't tell me that's wind erosion or water erosion. That's like DNA in stone. If water did that, then the stone has a DNA that we just can't comprehend. And I don't believe that's bedrock, right?
Yeah, right.
This is the Grand Canyon. I want to find. Okay, that's the Sahara Desert. But if you look closely at this, and I can't zoom in, or maybe I can. I can zoom in. You can see these lines. This is the Sahara. Those are 90 degrees right there, in my opinion. Let me see if I can go to the next one. Hopefully it's the Grand Canyon. Okay, so we're actually navigating away from the